What's up, everybody? Hello, hello, hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Losing in Love, episode 6 of season 1, or season 1 of episode 6. Don't know which is which. I don't know which one comes first, which one comes second. And also, there's some things that I would like to just say before we can move on with our episode. Okay. This is very random. I'm not so sure about anybody joining in to actually share their story of losing in love. But besides this being one episode of losing in love, it also has to be my most humblest appreciation live video. This is, I've never been this humble in my entire life. Whew, guys. This time last week, history was made. At Doxadio in Pretoria, we had our first annual women's conference. It was massive. I was saying today during the day to somebody that we underestimate these numbers. Yo, guys, I'm so humbled, eh? I am so humbled. I've never been this humbled in my entire existence. We underestimate the numbers because when I'm looking at the people who are following me from, the phone, it's 500,000, but the 500,000 people are on my phone. When I check on other socials, it's 50K on Instagram, but that 50K is on my phone. So we kind of underestimate the numbers until you plan something like your first annual women's conference where the venue has a capacity of 500 to 700 people and people show up for real. Like literally, I was saying that when we were paging through the guest list and we were saying, okay, we have 100 people, 200 people. As we were paging through the guest list, as we were writing down, it seemed as if 100 people is nothing, 200 people is nothing, until we get to the venue and we realize that a number as small as 50 people, a gathering of 50 people, is huge. Then if a gathering of 50 people is huge, what about a gathering of 500 people? And these are 500 people who are not gathering to see you because they've seen you before. These are people who are trusting you for the first time to actually deliver something to them which is going to be life-changing. I've never been this humbled in my entire existence. When I saw the 500 people now in real life, in real time, it was out of this world. I was blown away. Today I had to put myself in the shoes of every single person who came to my event last week by attending somebody's event. Locally in Lephalale, there's a lady that I know that I'm very fond of who had her own women's conference today. So I paid for a ticket last night because I was not supposed to be in town. I was supposed to be attending some TikTok creators Women's Day event. But then because I was so worn out and I was tired, I was like, I'm not going to go there. Let me just rest this weekend and just, gather myself, because next week I'm having that podcast and chill gathering that I'm still attending. So I need my energy for that, because that's quite big as well. So the effort that I had to put in for me to get to that lady's event, starting from me waking up, making a payment, doing my makeup. As you see, I have not even washed my face, getting a dress so that I can adhere to the theme, showing up at that event, sitting down and listening to every speaker speak, taking whatever that I can take from the event, coming back home tired, fulfilled. I literally had to put myself in the shoes of every single person who came to my event last week, Saturday, and it humbled me even more. And moreover, understanding that there are people who drove from as far as Kuruman, Welcome, to join us, to join me, who trusted me, who had so much confidence in me that I can deliver a life-changing event, even if they've never seen me delivering a life-changing event like that before. Like, I've spoken a couple of times. I've been invited to gigs where I speak, but never have I arranged something from scratch, all by myself, and just said to myself, listen, I'm gonna do it. But I believe that the fearlessness that I had when I was preparing the event is also coming from the fact that I don't fear something that I don't know. So I was not even worried. I was not even scared when I arranged the event that I did. So it was so effortless. I was chilled the whole time, and everybody kept calling me, checking on me to say, why are you so chilled? Why are you so chilled? You know? Why are you so chilled? And it didn't even make sense why I'm supposed to be panicking, because I had nothing to worry about. I think it was only after the event where I realized how big what I did was, how big what we did was, how big what God did was, when I saw the turnout. Like, every single person who was on the list of speakers came through. Every single person who was the list or was on the list of performers came through. Our MC was out of this world. Our MC has been fasting and interceding for us from Wednesday. Like, everything was just on par. Everything was just out of this world. And just that thought humbled me so much, to say everything is just effortlessly falling into place. Everything is just going well. Nothing is going wrong. Things are just going right. I mean, in as much as I receive so much hatred, the love is just as real, and it's more impactful than the hatred that I'm receiving. And the fact that there are people who are waking up from far and near just to come together and watch and believe that the event that they're going to is going to change their lives, that is something big. It's something that I don't take for granted. So I just want to take this time to say thank you so much to every single person who put in an effort for the event to become a success. Now I can't wait for my other projects. From every person who contributed in buying a ticket, dressing up and adhering to the theme because everybody was just looking dapper, everybody was just on point, to people who have been sponsoring with tickets because they couldn't make it, to people who have been sponsoring with money because they believed in the vision, in the dream, people who have been praying for me, for my strength. I took that for granted, you know. I never really thought that there were so, in as much as people show me hate, I never really thought that there were people who were equally as desperate for my event to become a success, who were praying for me so much for my event to become a success, so that the glory of God may be shining, so that the people can see that indeed there's a God. I realized that love that people have, I realized that people really want me to do well. People really want me to succeed, to make it in this ministry that I'm preaching on a daily basis. The room was just full of electricity that day. I'm still waiting to hear somebody say something which is, you know, maybe positive criticism or something like that, so that we can learn from that. But what we've been hearing so far is just positive things only. I've not even heard a negative thing. And I know that people on the socials are brutal. I don't think anybody would lie to me and tell me that the event went well when it didn't. I don't think anybody would tell me that, you know what, it was a spiritual retreat when it wasn't. And I feel so bad that not every person was there physically to experience the spiritual retreat, which was happening last week, Saturday. But I'm still glad that at least there's YouTube. So my media team is still cooking up something so that they can make it available for everybody who missed out on YouTube. So definitely all the sequences of events that happened at the women's conference will definitely be on my YouTube, and it will be on record to say, really, when I say we are about to make history, we did make history. And from here, we're only going upwards and onwards. There's no turning back. There's no going backwards. It's more successful events. It's more life-changing events. It's more hearts which are being fulfilled. It's more cups which we are going to be poured into. And I am just so humbled. all the sponsorships, all the partnerships, all the ticket sales, all the donations. You guys, it's out of this world. It's out of this world. Thank you so much. I'm just so humbled. So I just thought that before I could let anybody in who has a story to share, if anybody does have a story to share, let me rather get that out of the way, because it would be so inhumane of me to not acknowledge, the greatness which has, the history which took place on the 13th of August 2022 in Dockstadio, Pretoria. I'm not so sure how this whole inviting thing works. Guys, can somebody try to, let's just do it this way. Can somebody try to, guys, I'm so humbled, hey. That upapa sekuphelile manje. I'm just, you guys, you literally mopped the floor with me last week Saturday. That's why I sound like I'm feeling some type of way. I feel like I'm so down, and this down that I'm feeling is not down as in bad, not down in a bad way, but down in a way that you guys have humbled me. I was saying during the day when I'm doing a live like this and there is 300 people, it's like it's a small number. Until these 300 people have to gather in a room, until these 300 people have to make an effort to come together and say, we want to see you, we want to watch what you have to say, we want to see the people that you've invited to come and speak to us, and they actually say we took something with us. It's not the same anymore. So I think the way it has impacted me and humbled me so much, I'm starting to view my content and my followers in a very different light, in a very different light, because the reality that hit me last week Saturday is that these accounts which are following me, it's not robots. It's real people who are dealing with real issues, who want, to be betterfied, who want to be fulfilled, who want to get out of situations that they're in, who want to learn, who want to just be okay. That reality is what is humbling me so much right now. That reality is humbling me so much right now. I am so humbled. I am so humbled. Okay. How do you do the guest thing, guys? How do you do the guest thing? Can you guys, are you guys able to request? Because I think I would like to do that. Okay. Okay. I think I'm good. Can somebody try to request to come in so that we can roll with the show? Please do let me know if you are unable to request so that I can see how to fiddle with this thing. Okay, I see somebody's here. Goveni Gift. Goveni Gift, I like your name. So just testing the waters to see if things are okay. Then we can take whoever that would like to share their
Yeah,
story.
yeah.
Hi.
Hello. Hi, madam.
How are you doing, my love?
I'm good. And yourself?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for helping us test the waters to see if the system is working.
Yes.
You're here for that, right?
Yes, I'm here for the live. I was just tasting the waters.
Thank you so much, sis. I really
Yes.
appreciate you.
Okay, bye.
And I see we're having matching hairstyles.
Yes. Bye.
Okay, bye, sis. Okay, so the system is working, guys. The system is working. So I believe that now we can just wait for whoever that would like to come in to share their story with us. Who do we have now? I think we have a user. I get so nervous when I have to accept people who don't have faces because I could be accepting a robot now. Like literally, this could be, hi, user. Hello, user. Hello. Okay, our user who does not have a face or a name is not conversing or engaging. So unfortunately, we will not going to be having anybody for now. So let's just chat. I believe that if somebody Oh, I should not accept boy user, ne? They could probably be robots or haters or something like that. Okay, I won't be accepting boy user. I won't be accepting boy user. I will be accepting real people. Let me start reading the comments now, guys. I'm so humbled, Jazzy. I'm so humbled. Hi, everybody. For those who are only joining in now, thank you so much for coming through. So I was just, extending my heartfelt, appreciation for the people who showed up at the first annual Women's Conference and those who've been supporting the vision by, in any way, just vouching and rooting for me. Those who have actually purchased the ticket, showed up, dressed up, those who've been buying and donating tickets to those who couldn't afford, and those who've just been sponsoring the event. And the most humbling thing for me is the fact that it's not only women who believe in this vision, but it's also men as well. So many of them have been sponsoring and supporting, and I believe you can, if you saw some bits and pieces of what was happening at the first annual Women's Conference, if you were watching Nathaniel's live, there were men. So because we believe so much in that whatever that God has joined together, we should not be contributing and pulling it asunder. We had couples at the event who were coming in to just, share with us from a joint venture point of view. And I must tell you that it was such a beautiful, beautiful thing to witness, because at the end of the day, we believe in love. We love love. We are products of love, and we believe that we are still producing love. So it was much needed for us to see and to receive something fruitful from couples who are having working and healthy relationships, because the most important thing that I wanted to get across from couples who are in healthy and working relationships is that you can still be yourself. You can still live up to your full potential even when you're married. Because a lot of people think that once you get married, you now, lose yourself completely. You put your dreams and visions on hold and you focus on the person that you're married to, and it doesn't have to be that way, because what that does is that it strains you as a person individually. And eventually you go separate ways. Eventually it causes a friction in your relationship. But if you are yourself and you do your best and you live to your full potential, even when you are married to somebody, then you don't become a burden and you don't become a problem, and you don't see somebody or the person that you're married to or you're in a relationship with as a stumbling block. That is just somebody who's doing this life thing with you, because it is not good for a man to do this life thing alone. So they have you as a helper, but you as a helper as well. If you are healthy and you are happy and you are loved well and you are loved right, you are able to live up to your full potential. Your spirit, your soul, and everything, your being is purified so much that you're not feeding those who are taking from you from a dirty cup, but rather from a clean cup. Meaning that when you are a safe environment, when you are a clean environment, when you are a healthy environment, you become a safe and healthy and clean environment even to those who are around you. You understand what I mean? So that was the significance of us having to have couples come in and share their stories on how to become yourself even when you are married. This whole self-love thing is not only for divorcees or single people, and it's not only single people and divorced people who need to realize the importance of loving themselves and putting themselves first and always being happy and healthy and being able to be useful, even for lack of a better word, to the people around. I like the narrative of giving a clean cup. Yeah, because a lot of us, we give up the clean cup immediately when we get married. And now when the cup gets contaminated, we get mad when we find that nobody else can come and clean that cup for us. I always give an example with saying, your brokenness can never be fixed by marriage. Your brokenness can never be fixed by somebody you are married to, because in as much as they love you and they want to do forever with you, at the end of the day, that is not God. It is not their job to fix people. They won't know what to do with your brokenness. So a lot of us make a mistake of wanting to fix our brokenness with getting married, and we get mad when these marriages that we get into can't fix our brokenness. So it is very, very important for us to understand that in as much as we are loved and we are loving, we should be able to work on our own brokenness, fix ourselves, and clean our own cups so that we don't become burdens to our next of kin. So that when you are with somebody now next to you, you should be able to just enjoy each other's company, enjoy love, instead of being a project in somebody's hand, being a burden to somebody. Be a pleasure to be with, be a joy, be fun to be around. It's only you have this void on the inside of you that nobody can feel. So at the end of the day, you decide that, no, listen, I'm gonna run away from my loneliness by getting married to somebody, and then this person, their job is just to make sure that I don't get lonely. That is not somebody. I mean, I have my own things as an individual. And when you now take your whole entire being, your entire existence, and you make it my responsibility, at the end of the day, I'm going to resent you. At the end of the day, I'm going to neglect you. And it's going to cause a lot of frictions. And then you will be asking yourself, how come this marriage is not working out? Can't you know? We did it for the wrong reasons. We ran away from loneliness into marriage, all for the wrong reasons, you know. So, yeah. That is why it's very, very important for you to be self-aware. It is very, very important for you to understand that your cup, the cleanliness of your cup, you making sure that you clean it, you filter it, it is your job, you know. It is between you and God. So that when you are done with that, when you now bring people into your life, you don't bring them into your life and then they are burdens now. You don't bring them into your life and then now there's so much work to do. You bring them into your life because you want to share happiness with them, and that is it. You see? Hi everybody, thank you so much for those who are only joining in now. The intention was to do a Losing in Love season 1 episode 6, but because I caught everybody off guard, I can see that today we don't have anybody who has prepared themselves for Losing in Love. But anyway, it's no problem, you know. I'm here for conversations and all that. I'm here for all of that. So yeah, we move. I love you more. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Judy. You know what, I feel alive now with this new hairstyle of mine, my old hairstyle rather, you know, because I try to stay away from it. I'm like, hey, listen, I need to do some big girl things now, be serious and do this. I'm back here. Thank you so much for the love. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys. You know, the way that I feel about these positive comments that I receive now, it's completely different from the way that I used to see it before, you know. Because I remember I used to have a conversation with this other friend of mine to say, you know, people online, when somebody says they love you, you must not always take it to heart, because they could just be saying they love you because they love your hair. They love you because they love your lipstick. It's not that they love you. Mara, what you guys showed me last weekend at Dr. Dio in Pretoria at the first annual women's conference, you showed me that when you say, I love you, you mean it, and it comes from the deepest part of your heart, and that is so humbling for me. And it's, hi guys, Shem, you have humbled me. I don't know if there's anybody here on this live who was there at Dr. Dio in Pretoria. Yeah, I think let's make this fun. If there's anybody who is here, you want a conference in Cape Town, I'm gonna get to that now. If there's anybody who is here who was at Dr. Dio Pretoria last week Saturday, please request to come in and let's talk about our experience. Let's talk about our first annual women's conference experience, because I think this will help with our next ones. Miss Butane, thank you so much, my darling. What are you drinking in there? I'm drinking coffee. Man. So yeah, is there anybody who would like to request, and then we talk about, like, guys, the thing is, when I talk about it, it'll be as if, because Vela, it's your event, you know, you're gonna say nice things only. But when other people talk about it, thank you so much. When other people talk about it, it's a different story altogether. You know, it's a different story altogether. So the next one, okay, here's what's going to happen. Before we get to the next annual women's conference, I'm gonna decline this person because thank you so much. Okay, here's what's going to happen. The annual women's conference, that one, it's holy of holies, guys. It can't be tampered with. So we only gonna have it once a year. We can have a city to city one, but that very one, the annual women's conference, that's holy of holies. We can't have annual women's conference wara 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 wara, you know, ne, that is the one. That is the headquarters. Ne? We can rather change the venues to a bigger venue. It doesn't give you options to request. What do you mean? Oh, sorry. I just turned it on now. It's, you know, technology is not my mother. Hey, okay. Anyway, I was still saying that the annual women's conference. I have a vision with the annual women's conference, so we can only do it once a year. But we're gonna have other things. We're gonna have in conversations with Madam Speaker, we're gonna have this tour that I have not said anything about it here on TikTok, but I've said about it in other social media platforms that we need to in November. We're gonna be having another event in November. I was conflicted between having it in Joburg or Polokwane. So I did a poll on Instagram where I wanted to see where can we do it next, either Polokwane, Johannesburg, or Lephalale. But things are favoring Polokwane so far, so I don't know. Hi sis. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you, honey?
I'm so okay, and I'm so glad I came to your event. It was so blissfully.
So you were there. Did we take a picture?
No, we didn't, but I took pictures. No, when Apela you came, the time says sesigcwele, and then sihambe late, and I was rushing because I was moving from Pretoria to Johannesburg side, so I had to run. It was late.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'm not. You know what? I'm not satisfied, Mina. Honestly speaking, I feel like I didn't meet. I tried to meet as many people as I could, and we took pictures, and I was hugging them, and all of that, ne? But I kind of feel robbed. Yeah, but being a host is not a nice thing at the end of the day, because I honestly feel like I didn't meet everybody that I was supposed to meet. Yeah, bo. So,
Yeah,
hey.
but then you know what you said, ne? You said welcome back home to yourself. That one I took it. And then you said, ne, the things that you did. I don't know how did you put it. The things that you did wrong, ne? You didn't mean to destroy. You did it out of I don't know how you put it.
Your intentions were good. You were doing it from a place of love. Whatever that you,
It
even though it's wrong now, but when you did it, you had good intentions. So you should not regret your past.
Exactly. That's what you said. And it intintile because I related. There were times when I regretted things. Ngathi, I wish I did better. I wish I didn't do this. I wish I didn't do that. But then I realized, Guti, somehow I was sacrificing my happiness for that person. Yes. So nje, when you
Yeah.
said welcome back to yourself, like that was it for me. Yes. Thank you. Thank
Oh
you so
wow.
much.
Wow. Thank you so much, sis.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I really
Yeah.
appreciate you coming in here and giving us this review, because really, this is what I needed to say. Did I at least say something? Did I not only just show up there with nothingness? So if you are saying that you really took something from what I said, I really appreciate. You know what? I don't take you for granted. It's just too bad that I couldn't get to tell every single person who came to the event that I really appreciate every single one of you from the bottom of my heart, because I know the effort that you put in, trusting a total stranger from the Bundus in Limpopo who says, listen, I'm bringing a women's conference to your town. I want to see people being touched, to see people, having a life-changing experience. For you to trust me with that, for you to leave your home, to buy a ticket, to get there, to sit in and to pay attention and to say, I took something out of that, it means the world to me. I can die
Yeah.
now because I feel like,
And you
whatever that I
said
came to do.
and you said it's okay to be wrong. It's okay not to be okay. You understand? You cannot always be perfect in this
Yeah.
life. Yes, it's okay to
Yeah.
be wrong. Yes. So
Oh,
thank you
please.
so much.
Thank you so much. I am so humble. Thank you so much for coming through.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
All right, bye. Yo, guys, I am so humbled ke ngoku mna ndinixelele bazalwane, ndi-humbled ukufa andiva. Yo, yeah, I am very much humbled. I cannot thank you guys enough. You see this that I just experienced now. This says that I'm on track. It just confirms that, listen, I'm doing what I'm doing. What I'm doing is a ministry. Thank you so much. I can't thank you guys enough for coming through to the first annual women's conference. And what makes me even more happier is when you say you learned something and you took something out of it. My brother is asking here if it's only for women, because it's Women's Month, and I had to test the waters with women because my most of my supporters or my followers are women, or my content consumers are women. I had to do it with women, but definitely the one that I'm going to be doing after this one, it's not going to be for women only. It's going to be inclusive of everyone. I'm not going to be discriminating anymore. And I see somebody here saying, can we do Cape Town, please? We can definitely do Cape Town, but I think if I have to do a town which is pretty far away from where I am, I will need a team. I will need a team of people that I will know for sure that they will do everything for me, and I will just rock up. Because honestly speaking, in as much as this first annual women's conference, I did it on my own. I started everything on my own. I had so much support, my friends, my family, the people who love me. They were hands on. Even at the event, they were hands on. Meaning that if I want to do it in a city which is very far away from home, I'm saying to them they must come with me. Or if they're not coming with me, then I must have a team, like a proper team of people that I know for sure that everything will be sorted. That's why I'm saying that if I have to do it far away from home, then I have to make sure that everything of mine is on 100% before I can do it there. But I'm so happy with the turnout. I'm so happy that Pretoria came through. People came through from far and near to just attend, and it was a success. That could not make me happier. I am so happy, and I am so confident that we're going to be doing it across the country, and we're going to be doing it even beyond the South African borders. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your ministry. We learn a lot, great things. Thank you so much. Yeah, I believe that for those who still don't know, for those who have not even watched my who were not there, who are yet to watch the recordings when I post them on YouTube, you will get to understand that my event had absolutely nothing to do with divorce. My event had absolutely nothing to do with single people. My event was all about human beings, as long as you're a human being, regardless of gender. Because some of the ladies who came there, they came with their partners, right? And their partners could not sit in their cars. They had to come in. And they were so happy and they learned so much, even though we were saying it's a women's conference, but because whatever that we were sharing was sexless. Everybody was able to tap in. Everybody was able to take something out of it. And I couldn't be happier. I couldn't be happier. So I think from here going forward, we're not gonna, sexualize it and say it's a women's conference only. We're gonna be including everybody. But when it comes to the month of August, because it's a women's month, everybody is going to have to understand, which for Women's Month we're only going to be doing it for women, but all the other months of the year, because the plan is to always have these things every now and then, so that at least we keep moving. We get one city at a time, one video at a time, one seminar at a time. We get the mandate of self-love to be out there. You see, I love you more, Wendy. I love you more. God bless you too. God bless you too. Okay, so yeah. All right, guys, our losing in love is not so losing in love again. I think we will have to come back again, because I've been away from losing in love for such a long time that I believe that people are now used to us not doing it anymore. So I think maybe we must just, probably maybe next weekend, we'll try again and see if it's going to work out. Get people who are going to come in and share their stories. But for now, I think this was more, for me personally, even though there's nobody who's sharing their losing in love story, I feel like this was so fruitful for me. This was so fruitful for me, because, yeah, this was much needed for me. Finally, you get a hold of me. Yeah, I'm here, honey. I'm here. I've been AWOL for the longest time. I've been AWOL for the past, I think, for the past 2-3 weeks, we didn't do Losing in Love, because I was just so busy with the women's conference. And now that that is out of the way, we still focus. We still continue with our Losing in Love. We continue with planning more conferences, more seminars, more get-togethers, more lunch-ons. And we just preach this self-love story. We just preach this, and we become a healthy and happy and safe environment. That is the mandate. It's crystal clear. It's crystal clear. I wanted to take... You want to take the mic? Oh, no. You had to take the mic and say that he's the roving mic. Ah no, shame, poor thing. Poor thing. Let's let's give him a rest, Shem. You know what? I believe that everything happens for a reason, you know. Everything definitely happens for a reason. There is no there is no other way. It couldn't have happened any other way. You know, I would have chosen other ways. You know, if you were a Christian, you would know what Jesus Christ said at the cross of Calvary. Father, if it was up to me, if there was another way that you could take this cup away from me, I would ask that you do it. But only your will should be done and not mine. If it was up to us, we would have things working out differently. If it was up to us, we would have things taking place a certain way, happening a certain way. But because not everything is entirely up to us, because we are just tools in the hands of God, things happen the way that God wants them to happen. And all that at the end of the day, the only thing that we can pray for is strength so that we can keep going, strength to be strong, and not fall down and not, crumble and not burn out throughout this process, which is testing us or which is taking us to higher, to from the glory of yesterday to the glory of today, from one glory to another, from one level of glory to another. All we can do is just to say, Lord, give me strength. Lord, renew my strength every day. Because if we would say, Lord, don't let this happen, everybody, I don't think anybody would ever go through anything in life if we had an option to say, let this not happen in my life. But all we can ever pray for, all we can ever ask for is strength so that we keep going, strength to not give up, to not be weary. They that wait upon the Lord, he shall renew their strength. So yeah, that's all that we ask for. We ask for strength. We ask for strength always, And somebody was laughing at me yesterday, ne? And they were saying to me that because I like to call myself a church dropout so much, that first annual women's conference took me back to church. Like, yeah, can you call yourself a church dropout? What do you call that thing which you were doing there when you were busy singing there and you all guys were busy praying and others are praying in tongues? What do you call that? Because you're a church dropout when you are preaching self-love. You can't run away from the gospel. You can't run away from your calling. If you are supposed to be healing souls in Christ, then that is going to happen, regardless of whether that's what you want or not. So I saw that with my own two eyes, Shem. With my own 2C. I saw that last week, Saturday. The God of restoration, yeah. Yeah, he's a God of restoration. I'm so confident in what God is capable of doing. I think the way that I've been down and out so much, I've learned the hard way not to lean on my own understanding. I don't think I was listening when the Bible was saying, do not lean on your own understanding. But after everything that I've been through, after a full year of the transformation which happened in my life, I can tell you now that I don't lean on my own understanding at all. I just allow myself to be a tool in God's hand. And one thing that I've mastered is to understand that which I am is not going to be everybody's favorite thing. That which I am, the tool which I am, is not going to be everybody's favorite tool. And the way this tool is supposed to be used, guys, you know what, Name? I would like to compare this tool like to a spade. Spade king. What is spade in English? You know that thing where you fill in water and soap back in the villages and they put it, from your behind so that they can clean your system? That is a tool that is supposed to be used to do something good, which is intended for a funnel, right? That is intended to actually clean your system. So having that is that's everybody's least favorite tool. But at the end of the day, the tool must be there and the tool must do its job. So I've gotten to see myself as a tool, which is not everybody's favorite tool, in the hands of people who need this tool. You understand? The tool needs to be there. It is there for a purpose. It must do its job. But because of the way the job has to be done, it's not everybody's favorite tool, and it's just it's not a comfortable tool to have. And when you look at it and you remember what it's here to do, you are very much uncomfortable. But then again, when you remember what happens after you have used this tool, you can't throw it away. So I would like to see myself as that. To say I'm a very uncomfortable tool, a very uncomfortable one. But Oksala, I'm a tool and I'm not going anywhere. You know? Ubabalwe. What's that? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. Yeah, God uses situations around us to bring us closer to Him. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, child of God. Exactly. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, guys. I suppose I'm gonna have to love you and leave you now. Thank you, Abel, my fellow designer. This one, I love him. Ish. Guys, I love Abel. Please follow him. Can I pin him? How do I pin? Manage. Let me just make him a moderator because I don't know this app. Abel, you are my moderator now. You must block whoever that misbehaves now. So from time to time you say, welcome to Losing in Love, Season 1, Episode 6, so that people can see you. Okay, you have a badge of honor. So yeah, basically, guys, that is it for today. We don't have much. Okay, the one person who had come in to say that they were there at the event shared something which actually is life-changing for me, because I really appreciate people coming back with these results, to say this is what I learned, because now I get to reflect on what I was saying, and I also get to now be fulfilled and learn also, from what I said, because I believe that when I was saying it, I was not saying it to myself, so I can't remember some of the things which I said, but when somebody says, this is what I took from your speech, this is what I took from what you were saying, I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it, because it's only then that, because I was saying to my media guy that, listen, when you repost these things on my YouTube, I'm gonna be sitting down with popcorn and watching, because honestly I didn't see anything. Because I was up there, I didn't see anything. Even when other people were speaking, when other people were speaking while I was still at the hotel, or when I was still running around and doing this and that, I literally did not see anything. So I think only afterwards I would like to sit and then watch everything, just like everybody else who was not there, to see, well, this is what actually unfolded. But all I know is that it was a life-changing experience, and I can't wait for the next one. And as much as it was a ladies' event, gents were there and they were also fulfilled. So this time around, especially now, because it's not Women's Month, it's not going to be Women's Month when I do another one. I'm going to make sure that it's inclusive of everyone. It doesn't discriminate, okay? Thank you, Lipstick Chat, my baby. You are most welcome. You are most welcome. You are most welcome. Thank you, guys. When is the next one? I'm planning on doing the next one in November. I'm still on the planning process, because I need to do, there's a new era now. The new vision on top of the on top of the annual women's conference. It's Silence the Fear. I'm starting a new program called Silence the Fear. So that one is not going to be sexualized, It's going to it's applicable to everyone. Ever since I did a video of silencing the fear, I've been getting positive feedback from both genders to say, listen, I watched your video where you were speaking about how we should silence the fear, and I've been able to do 1, 2, 3. I've taken initiative to do 1, 2, and 3 because of that. So because the Silence the Fear tour is gonna happen together with my book launch. I'm just waiting to finish off the book so that we can do the whole launching of the book together with the Silence the tour, the Fear tour. So I'm gonna be hopping around. I don't think I'm gonna make something as big as annual women's conference, because that was massive. I underestimated how big it was. So because we're going to be doing from one city to another, I think we're not going to make anything that big. We're going to make something moderate. But if the numbers say, listen, make it bigger, then we'll make it bigger. But otherwise, the plan is just to get to everybody, be accessible to everybody, regardless of the number of people. Hi. Okay, we had somebody who came in here, but they left already. So, unfortunately, you can always request, guys. You can always request and come in, but I think we're running out of time because I've been here. The one about soul ties. That one is very recent. Hi. Hi, user. Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing, honey?
I'm good.
I'm
Why
also
can't I see
good.
myself?
Hmm?
I thought I'll see my face.
You thought you were seeing your face? No, 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 no. We're not seeing your face.
Oh, okay, no problem. Okay, I
Mm-hmm.
haven't been consistent in following you, but I've been watching your YouTube videos,
Mm-hmm.
and I've come across you when you're sharing your story about your marriage and how you left your marriage and all those narcissistic behaviors. But now I just came across you. I wasn't even prepared, but I just want to also share my story in terms of losing in love.
Okay.
So I'm a 35-year-old. Nginabantwana abawu-2. Currently going through divorce. I was
Okay.
married for 11 years
Okay.
with husband wami. I met yena at church from my village because I'm originally from KZN, but now I stay in Johannesburg.
Okay.
So we were going together at church. So he was a church boy.
Mm.
And I know how, if I don't know, people who are born again, who knows how we are taught in terms of finding the lover, ukuthi you don't really enjoy ne when you so you
Courtship
courtship.
vibes.
Yes, it's a courtship
Yeah.
vibe. So that's how
Yeah.
I found him. So we courtshiped for 2 years.
Mm.
And most of the time say KZN because bengenza my degree at UKZN. So he used to live here in Johannesburg.
Okay.
So from the time they see engaged until we got married. And so it was a distant relationship because we got married when I was in UKZN, like inja ever city, I mean to say, and ube around here in Johannesburg. And then so she courtship for 2 years, and then we got married in 2010. And then I stayed at Durban for the first 4 years to 5 years of our marriage.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. Yes, because we back here in 2015 after Sishadete in 2010. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it was 4 years.
Okay.
Well, okay, guys. So we within I think in a fourth year, 2014, I found out ukuthi the guy is cheating on me. So how did I find out ukuthi the guy was cheating on me? Because ngumuntu ophuphayo, like I normally have dreams, ne? So it was nothing ephathekayo. He was a very loving husband, Shem, I don't want to lie to you, and a very supportive husband as well. And then from my knowledge, he was just somebody who was naive, and I was his first love. So 2014, I have a dream, not only futhi akuqalanga lapho ne. There was a cousin wami, my cousin, yes. So my cousin from my father's side, I didn't grow up with my father's family. So then he was emsebenzini, he was working with one of my brothers from my father's side, but not my biological. He's not from my biological father, ne? And then so he finds the cousin, kanjalo ke. It's fine, your cousin would come and visit us because at that time besihlala ku-one room siqashile. And then, but now I have this thing, yabo ebuka lo cousin it's okay, I know this guy, he's a sweet person even to my sisters and my lokunjana, but why lona kungathi ba too close? And the girl will come, aletha amakhekhe and stuff. But get just to cut the long story short, it turns out ukuthi bayalala with this cousin. Yes. So how did I find out we ulala no cousin Lona? So I phone yena after having a dream, and I'm like, hey, I feel like there's somebody who is taking my space in your heart, in your heart. Who is it? What is going on? I think maybe in my nami retrospectively, ngicabanga ukuthi at that time wayesaqala ukwenza lezi zinto, and he still had conscious. So he just confessed, because I pushed him and he confessed without any hassle, basically. So again, nami being me, because I thought, I'm from the church and our sexual life was very bad at the time. Yabo? So then I thought, no, you know what, Ngina, so isizathu to forgive the guy. And
Yeah.
I also have to mention that I was still young because I was in 23. So I was still young and naive, like church girly, and then angijolanga kakhulu. So it was so easy for me to just
Forgive.
want to take your responsibility. Yabo? Feel like Nami, I didn't do right. So I have something to fix in my marriage. Yabo? So we sat down with my spiritual father and sayikhuluma into naye, and then I just forgave him and I worked on the relationship. I worked on our sexual life. Nje nga-investa on that. How did I work on that? By reading books, yabo? And then ubuka all YouTube and stuff in terms of advice, you know, not porn, because I don't really believe that porn is a way, but so, and then sure sharp I in my own eyes I thought I umshado uyalunga saba right no guy, he confessed, I stayed with this cousin yami kuyena it was like nje ayibo kuyena sex is not a big deal, sex is just sex, why am I making a big deal out of this? Oh well, it's okay. Yeah. So for me, I was like, she's just a toxic sister. It's in Mishi, and she's older than me, by the way. I think because my ex-husband, was 6 years, so I think bekuntanga yakhe, the cousin. Yes. So I get it's fine. Like I didn't understand, by the way, because I was like, "Bebe fundisani sex in," because our sex life was bad. I don't know. I didn't understand. But
You have to convince yourself somewhere somehow, you know, something. You need to have a tangible explanation of what could have possibly gone wrong for it to make sense to you.
Exactly. So again, I'm so oh yeah, all right, sharp ngidlule lapho. But this another thing odd ne. This is why ngibuye ngithi mina, I think I was also naive and young. Another thing that was odd was that at that time it turned out ukuthi he also slept with another girl, guy. In that time, in that vicinity, for me it was literally within 3 or 2 months. So, and then he was also flirting with one of my cousins, a distant cousin also, from my mother's side. Well, okay, me being young and naive, I just took the whole responsibility and I felt like let me fix myself, let me fix my marriage, let me work on how I also communicate. Okay, sharp, that happened. Fast tracking 2019, because now I came back for another degree. So I registered for another degree, which was really keeping me busy this side. So, and then I got pregnant in 2018, and ngathola umntwana onokukhubazeka. And then mangithola umntwana onokukhubazeka, I had to, cause I'm very busy esikolweni, I had to ukuzama ukuthi ngibe nonini. Mind you, he's the only one who is working and I'm not working because I'm a student. So now this what happened. I had the problem where nanny they just leave. I have nanny who stay for a month and then they leave. I have nanny who stay for 3 months and then they leave. And then again, I still do the same thing to look what is wrong with me. What am I doing wrong?
Even when it's not necessary.
Exactly. Angikwazi communicate nabantu. That's I'm all about myself, which I think it's also helped me because I also started working on myself as a person within the marriage, ne? And Kimina, there was no way I could have ever suspected Uguti he was playing a role for me to lose Oneni, because he's been a very loving husband, guys. Like my marriage was a different thing because he was very supportive, okay, very loving. Like for me, I feel like he treated me like a queen in his own ability, in a baselines esigwona, coming from traditional church, coming from raised from the families lawa are tradition. So he will cook for me, okay, if you know, and then he will cook for us as a family. He will even ding phone if I need to be taken ever sitting your phone and he will be there. And then with my Down syndrome child, he was there every day because we had to travel. It was a distance, maybe about 40 minutes from Las Lala Kona to Mtwana for 6 weeks. Ne? So he was always there. Basically, he played by the rules. Ne? Okay,
ticking all the boxes.
But nothing. but nansi inkinga aboneni bayahamba shu shu shu. But there was this one particular nene when she left ugeli athi because bengimthole from a friend athi yena yo ubaba walaphayana hayi kuthi uyawathanda amantombazane. Hayi bo. And then for me it doesn't make sense. Yes, senzakalile lesa story, but remember that for me I just took it ekuthenini ke I was lacking somewhere. So I never ever suspected ukuthi ngabe vele there was truth in it basically because it was not even ukuthi there was some truth in it. There was truth in it. Everything was who he is. I get shosha mayisho njalo but in my naked eyes I just excuse uguy, but then I came back kuyena and I was like, what did you do to this girl ukuthi angaze athi wena uthanda amantombazane? What did you do? And then for me I would look at him as a lover basically, as umuntu othandayo. He's soft and I mean I'm a harsh person by nature. Yabo? And then but or else let us sit down maybe sibone ukuthi what are the things wena ozenzayo that could be misinterpreted by omunye umuntu, yabo, as if maybe uyamharasa. Me excusing the guy, no? Hayi uguy and nje I dismiss kanjani athi ke hayibo mina ngeke ngeze noma ngakuthiwa sengiyafuna ukushela umuntu ngeke ngize ngishele le yantombazane eyischaparapa nje asho like igama elibi nje, yabo? Okay, sharp ke ngidlulisa indaba. And then but there was another scenario because I'm telling this scenario because now when I found it out ukuthi uguy ubani, it was like my mind could not comprehend. It was too much, so much that I sat with myself and I asked myself, what are the signs maybe I missed that were there, that were obvious, but mina because I don't know, because I was so much in this guy, I missed the red flags, if I may say. Well, okay, but akhona kama scenarios. There are scenarios whereby ama cousin who are way younger. Actually, it's not even cousin. Abantwana bathi mamncane kumina, but because usisi wami mdala, uyabo. Ayikuthi ngabazala, but they are way younger. Like ngibashiya ngo 10 years, ngo 12 years. Uyabo. They started to lose respect kumina, and but I remember this other day they said because I needed them ukuthi bangisize ngokuthi ngigade umntwana. But then they left, bafike bathe ekhaya abasafuna ukuthi bangisize. But there was a statement where umamkhulu phone me wangitshela wathi zithi lezi ngane zizothatha indoda yakho because wena uzenza umedem. Oh, okay. Like, and I'm asking myself, the way ngibatreata ngakhona, how did I end this disrespect? But then another thing, uguy ngiyamthola ngelinye ilanga uyachata nalabantwana who are giving me that disrespect. And then I ask her, I'm not expecting you to choose side, but why when are you chatting with abantu who are treating me like this? But anyway, because mina I've given that attitude emshadweni yokuthi I feel like I'm married with umuntu onamazinyo awu 32 on a ID who knows what he wants. I can only voice my opinion of something, but at the same time, I don't want to take away your freedom if when you think different than me. So I just left it to say, okay, it's fine, but by the way, uyayazi into ekulalisa ebusuku. So I just left it like that. If when ufuna ukukhuluma nabo, it's okay. Ungaboni sengathi I want you to choose my side. Sure, but last year basically it's not even next month ngizobe ngenza unyaka going through this divorce process. It's not finalized as yet in terms of it's a same court and stuff. But last year this what happened. There was a friend of mine. The friend of mine comes and again amaphupho they come back. So uguy angeke ngize ngisho profession yami, but yena he's a matriculant and then he's been working as a general worker. Uma kwenzeka lezi zinto ze COVID he lost a job. And then kanti mina that's when I was permanent. So when I got permanent and then ngithenge a car for him basically because I was planning with the way I felt like he has supported, it's not even a feeling shame, he supported me throughout my career, because now I have 3 degrees. He's been there and he's been the person who's been there with me. So I buy him a car with an intention yokuthi uzokwenza taxi fire, ne? Okay, sharp. But now I started having these things that I cannot shake, ukuthi he's doing something. I don't have an evidence. There's nothing. He still treats me the same way I'm treating Endlin. But I feel like, no, man, there's something I enzayo. And I started even calling yena, video call, if usemsebenzini. But then I remember this other day, there was a client, it was a female client, who will phone yena athi ucela ukuthi amhambise ebanganeni bakhe nanani. So I phone yena phambi kwale client ne, and then abesethi yena abambe ifone ne, and then besethi ke why yini, are you suspecting something? No, nginonompilo abatshengise. I didn't like how he spoke nami phambi kwabantu, and he knows so well ukuthi I'm not a woman onama insecurities.
Yeah.
Okay, sure, sharp game. Idlule leyo, but then there was a day where I sat down with the guy because I could not shake it. I could not shake it, Madam Speaker. Like it kept on coming. And then I said, I sat down now and I was like, Angnai evidence. I feel like you are doing something. Is there anything you want to tell me? He didn't say anything. But then I said, Guyena, I promise you, if you ever cheat on me again, ngabe ngikhombisa ngathi uyalibona lelia gates, even if I lose everything that I have, I will leave you. Well, sure, sharp ke idlule leto. So this other day on my birthday, there was a friend of mine who came here. And by the way, ngalelo langa, the guy confessed ukuthi he was on my friend because ufriend wami came wabehlala nathi lana. So kusho ukuthi he was aiming to take ama moves kuyena ne. Kwasho ukuthi so this friend ngelinye ilanga ashare something sihleli nje sitting room. Athena aka understand the girls who backstep another girls. Like if indoda kamngani wakho wena iyakushela, why wena ungayigive? Why is it go that further wena uyi-entertain? Kusho ukuthi ke when that happened, that's when the guy ke wasaba ne. But then he shared that
no go area la.
Yeah, this is no go zone. So he just shared leyo nto. I think he was just trying to brush me off. Okay, sharp ke. But then ke on my birthday ke, this other day, I remember there was a day where I was so happy. I was so happy. And then ngiyabuya nje, I'm so appreciative of abantu that I feel like uNkulunkulu has used in my life for impilo yami ukuthi ibelana in terms of success. I'm not successful, but from a background engivela kuyona, I felt like I've come a long way.
To be.
And then here I am, I'm praying this. Exactly. So here I am, I'm praying and I'm even thanking God. Madam Speaker, I don't want to lie to you. Like literally, as like few seconds, maybe 2 seconds after mentioning my husband at that time, to like ngimbonga kuNkulunkulu, thanking God for him, uringi phone in his phone, one of his phone yayifile, and then so uphethe enye use-sitting room there ikhale kamereni. Uma ngiya kule phone ngiyibambe, ifone ibhalwe ngama initial, it was NQBS. Okokuqala ngiqale ngimangazwe yilokho. So I have his password, uguy. He have access on my phone. I have access phone yakhe. I go WhatsApp wakhe. But again, as I told you, I always tell myself, you do what you want. Uyayazi into ekulalisa ebusuku as a person. So I don't believe ekuluseni umuntu. Like I really think if a relationship gets to that extent, you should go out. It's a red flag on its own. If ungasakwenzi ukuthi uphumule, it's a relationship you should stay. You shouldn't stay kuyona. Sure sharp ke mangibamba ifone, it turns out ukuthi it's a girl ne. Shuthi girl futhi ifone ngibambe nje ngikhululekile ngithi sawubona athi yebo lo ngale bese ngithi mina unjani bese yathuka a drop ifone. Immediately ngithathe lezi number ngiyisave and then go back to the hubby, and then ngifike ngicela ifone yakhe. Mangifika ifone vele ufonile umogel lona bese ngiyambuyisela ifone ngimbuze who is this girl, but it turned out ukuthi umuntu ebengihleli naye for 11 years ngizothini, for me I call him he shops around for women ku Facebook. That led to be the woman he's been with umthole ku Facebook for 2 years at that time. Not only that, there was also a scenario where ngambamba echatha nomuntu wesifazane, but even the conversation yakhona yayingekho dodgy, but I had that instinct ukuthi that conversation was not innocent. And then uguy wa refuser to open up ukuthi what was wrong with that conversation. But it turned out ukuthi ngalelo langa, that was 2019 when ngimbamba naleyo call, but it turned out ukuthi loyo muntu wesifazane wayese at the time mangimthola uthandane naye for 3 years. And uguy, whenever he says he's going home, uyolala nalabantu besifazane. It turned out ukuthi around home, singisho ukuthi mina around our village, he has dated maybe plus or minus 10 women through our marriage. Not only dating these people, he sleeps with them. It turned out ukuthi he harassed every cousin of mine. It turned out ukuthi bonke labo nini ababalekelayo, he's been harassing them.
And when you are sitting here thinking something is wrong with you as the boss, abaneni bayahamba ngoba wena ukwazi ukuphatha awunasandla sokuphatha ineni kanti yena ubhizi napho.
Ngithi tell me about it.
Yo.
And I've praised the man, like I've praised the man. And for me, I felt like one of the key things I lost was my dignity.
Yeah.
When at the time when I found it out, and then it turned out ukuthi labantwana basekhaya, the disrespect, he earned it for me.
Yes.
So my mind could not comprehend a difficult thing. Like literally, I remember I used to ukuthi uma ngicabanga ngayo ngangivele ngigule same time kome umlomo ngibe dry ngijuluke. Like I remember this other day when we had an argument naye, when I was like kuyena ngicela ukuthi ungitshele, like try to paint an image of a marriage ebengihleli kuyo khona, because clearly I don't know umshado ebengihleli kuwona mina. And it seems like everybody else who is around me, they know umshado wami, but mina ngiwazi.
Yes, they know him more than you know him, but you share a bed with him for 11 years.
It's listen. Like I was just looking at the stranger, and the part that is stranger ngisipraise kangakanani empilweni yami, thinking like, you know what, I have a man emadodeni.
Let me tell you something, Sisine. Throughout my process of divorce, at some point I wish I had died before I saw the sight of my ex-husband that I was seeing, because if I knew this person to be this that he's showing me now through the process of divorce, I never would have married such a person. So I always say that maybe people who lose their partners through death are way better, because the death that comes with divorce is far worse, because you see things that had the person died before you, seeing that you wouldn't have even chosen them. You see things that you will ngathi ubona ispooky, yes one.
Exactly.
And also I just want to say something here, Ne, before I let you proceed, my love. For anybody else who is watching out there and anybody who is listening, to say, I know that when as you are speaking now, you could have overcome what I'm going to be saying now, but I need to put it out there to say you should never feel ashamed because of what somebody is doing to you. Like if you're in a marriage or in a relationship and your partner is unfaithful, you should not allow yourself to carry that shame. If your partner is chasing every skirt in the village, you should never allow yourself to carry that shame. And I feel like the world is so unfair to us women, because you are the one who is dignified, who is sitting at home, and you must carry the shame. You must walk around going to the mall, going to work, going to the shops, carrying this shame that you didn't bring to yourself. The only shame that you should allow yourself to carry is shame that you brought to yourself. That is why there's a lady who came in here before you who said that when I was sharing and saying that at the time when you decided to get married to this guy, at that time, it was the best decision that you could have ever made. So just because you're only realizing now in this marriage, you should not be feeling the shame. You should not be carrying the shame. I know that, remember, the reason why this is a very narcissistic behavior. The reason why he's making you a laughing stock is so that when something like this, like divorce happens, they should look at you and see you as the animal. They should look at you and see you as this person who mistreated her husband, who does not deserve beautiful things because you're a bad person, or harsh, or soft. So at the end of the day, when you will look like ngati wena uyisilwane, but at the end of the day, when you look at everything, you are the one who's been suffering. You're the one who's been bearing this pain. So what I'm saying to you, if you have not overcome it yet, don't allow yourself to carry the shame of something you didn't do. You're not the one who is not honest. You're not the one who is sleeping around with 20 girls. You're not the one who has no shame. You are not the one who is doing all these despicable things. So you should never. I know that the shame, it's a subconscious thing. You will subconsciously feel like, you know what, the ground it can open up and swallow me. You should always remember these words. Every time when you want to feel some sort of shame for anything that somebody did to you, you had every right to be proud of your husband. You had every right to be proud of your marriage because you didn't know the type of animal you were marrying, because you didn't know that his intentions were not as pure as yours. So what I'm saying to you now is that every time when you think of feeling ashamed, when you want to go to a village and you are ashamed because of what your ex-husband put you through, you must remind yourself, you have no right to be ashamed because you didn't do anything wrong. You didn't do anything despicable. So that shame is not yours to carry. You carried this person in your marriage all your life. You suffered all your life. You're not going to be suffering for the rest of your life because of shame that you didn't bring to your marriage. And that's all that I wanted to say. You can proceed, my love.
That's true. That's true. Thank you so much. Thank you so much about that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So yes, so basically, in summary, that was the for me, shame. I didn't struggle to get out of marriage. What are the reasons I struggle? I felt like I gave my marriage my best. I gave everything I could have ever given, and I felt like I no longer have anything to offer. And I felt like beyond that, I was going to destroy both me and him.
Yeah.
So it was not fair for either one of us to stay in such a marriage.
Yeah.
That's
And
one.
your
And
conscience is clear.
secondly,
Your conscience is clear.
yes,
You gave it
listen to
your
me.
best
Like,
shot. Let me tell you
and
something. Let me tell you what happens when your conscience is clear and you gave your marriage your best shot and you were honest and you were transparent and you were everything. What is going to come to you after the end of this marriage is blessings only. Izinto zakho zizohamba smooth. That I can assure you. Because your intentions were pure. You didn't have any malicious intent. So because of that purity, God will reward you. God will reward you. Trust me. Take it. You will come here on this live and you will testify. Yeah.
So thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. It's actually reassuring. So that was the first one. And secondly, I felt like my marriage in my eyes was so beautiful that trying to khona lento that was sharing with one of my friends mangisaphuma kuyona that we normally fear uncertainty when it comes to trusting God. And but I felt like I never knew that what mina I thought was beautiful uNkulunkulu wayezokwazi ukuyenza in terms of how I saw my marriage ukuthi kimina emehlweni wami it was beautiful, but not only was it beautiful, it served me. Madam Speaker, njengoba ngisho ukuthi I got 3 degrees within that marriage. And
so
I
there
feel
are plenty of beautiful things which came out of it.
Exactly. It's not even in terms of material, but I felt like a person that I've become within the marriage. Kimina, I treasure that person and I don't want that person to die. And I felt like if angiyazi ukuthi sometimes kwabanye abantu it takes them time ukuthi baphume because they feel like they owe the other part. But I felt like if yena ikhona into ayisebenzele enhle within this marriage, uNkulunkulu uzomnikeza yona, it's not my job. And I felt like if he could not be saved by the blood of the lamb, who am I? He cannot be saved by my blood. Because I remember meeting ngitshela abantu abadala ngithi bengincenga bethi into yenu beyinhle nani ngathi mina lalelani bantu abadala ngathi mina I've given this man a chance to change and he didn't use it, and beyond this he can only be saved by my blood, and I'm not willing to do that. That is not a price I'm willing to do. That's a price I'm not willing to pay.
Come on now.
So I took myself out of a situation, and even kumuntu who feel like they are still there, I'm not going to promise anybody ukuthi it's an easy journey, but it's a journey and feel like it's worth everything. I would do it again and again. Given a chance, I will still do it. And I'm so grateful kuNkulunkulu that I didn't waste isikhathi. The minute I saw ukuthi ifile lento, that was the minute I knew that I'm going out. And if anybody was on ukuthi, do you have any tools to go out? I didn't have tools to go out, but only I had was self-love. And I had to choose myself because he could not choose me.
You stopped watering a dead plant. That's what matters.
Exactly. Thank you so much. And you are putting it in nice. Like that's exactly, that is very profound.
Mm.
And so for me, I knew that.
I
and
love
there
the way you are so self-aware. That's why I think that's why these things are just coming. I love the way you are so self-aware. And I think a lot of us can learn a lot from you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you so much. So, and I also remember how that abantu abadala who are Christians mostly, uyabo, and abanye ababefundisi who phoned me to say bangquotele scripture. I remember there was the other one owangquotela, was it's Joel chapter 2 in angisasikhumbuli kahle scripture sakhona, but it was speaking about yeah, the way yena besiquota ngakhona ne, he was quoting that but basically how they say divorce is disgusting kuNkulunkulu.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I remember how the other one was quoting about forgiveness. And then those were my answers. I went I went kuleliana because I don't have a Bible here, but I went kulelika Joel too. I love how it was speaking about the men who have despised the wife of his youth. And then I love how it says, lithi uNkulunkulu uthi, take that man, whoever that man is, take him out of God's temple. And I was like, no, you quoted the scripture wrong. And ulthathe phezulu. Lithi that man should be taken out of God's temple. Firstly, and I remember how I said, yes, the Bible speaks about how it divorce uNkulunkulu angayithandi, but it also speaks about how we are no longer bound to the person who have been unfaithful.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm no longer bounded because yena he violated our vows.
Yes.
But I also remember how I told Gogo to say, Gogo, if forgiveness, Jesus Christ forgave Abafaris, but there was nothing that bounded or forced yena to continue having the relationship with Abafaris.
Yes, now.
And
Come
I
on now.
said to Gogo, I know myself ukuthi mina nontsikelelo ne, I can no longer live in this marriage and still serve God the way He wants me to serve Him.
Come on.
That is no longer within my capacity because mina, I think Jesus Christ died so that we may see Him. I know very well that beyond this, I'm not going to be able to live to be the purest form of myself and the purest version of myself. So due to those things, I forgive him, but I'm no longer bound to him. And due to those things, I rather save myself.
Yeah.
So I'm going out.
Yeah. Wow.
And over and above everything, I know that my kids, they need a healthy mom. And I knew that marriage can never give them such a mom. And I feel like I deserve best. They also deserve best. And for the three of us, I moved out of that marriage.
Whew. Yo, woman, you are power. Yo. Yo. You are giving me chills. You are giving me chills. Like, you know what? I don't want to add anything on to what you just said now. The way you are so self-aware, the way you understand. Hey, boy, can everybody just listen to you? Yo. You know what, woman? You are one of a kind. Let me see. You are one of a kind. You are one of a kind. I am blown away by what you are sharing with us now, because this is something that needs to be amplified. This is something that everybody needs to listen to, because I can relate so much, because when I got married, when my marriage was no longer serving me, my spiritual life started deteriorating. Where I am now spiritually is nowhere near where I was in the wilderness when I was married, because my marriage was no longer serving me. And when I remember before I got married, my spiritual life was somewhere up there. And I felt like, you know what, I'm just missing this one thing where I need to get married so that I can have sex legally and everything of mine will be blessed, because, he who finds a wife finds a good thing and favor from the Lord, and everything will just fall into place, and all those missing pieces will just be perfect, right? Only to find out when I now get married a few years down the line, instead of me escalating even higher, I was so low that I wished I could just get to the point where I was. I was like, okay, even though where I was before I got married, I felt like it was not good enough. I could really do with just being there. Nothing even more than that. Because that's how low I was. And a lot of us don't get that. A lot of us take it for granted to say, if you are married and your marriage is no longer serving you, you will hit rock bottom, not only physically, not only emotionally, but your spiritual life, it will die. Yes, this is all far, and we'll go to hell and we'll ask ourselves, how? Because, I'm married, and when I'm married, I'm holier than thou, and, I'm not sinning. What the is you EP? You have no heart. Your heart is finished. Marata. Simply because the marriage is no longer serving you now, and it's killing you spiritually. A lot of us don't
And
take that.
just to add on that, ngingaze ngiyikhohlwe, ngicela ukuyi-add, just
Yes,
that
ma'am.
when you are speaking about that you think because you are married, you are sinning, but you are bound with the man who is bringing the sin within the
Come
house.
on. Come
So
on.
basically, if you ulifunda kahle iBhayibheli lithi the one who is bound with the alishi prostitute, there's the other one, the adultery.
Yes.
Ufana naye.
Yes.
So basically, because I remember when I first, in 2014, I just woke up feeling dirty. So I said, Guyena, what have you done? Because I knew angithi mina ukuthi ngiyazazi ukuthi ngilalaphi, but I felt
Yes.
dirty sengathi ngumuntu olale no somebody who is outside of marriage. And I want to also comment kulento oyishoyo ukuthi in terms of the sin, if your heart is not there, I think the Bible says God searches our heart.
Yeah.
So kunabantu who in paper you are married, but in the eyes of God you are already divorced because your heart is no longer there.
Yeah. Yo. I shame. Yo, you have made some valid points. This is yo angazi ngakuthatha ngikubeke kuyiphi pedestal, because this that you are preaching now needs to reach I don't know where. Because wow. Your level of self-awareness is out of this world.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the platform to share my story.
Thank you so much.
And thank you so much for inspiring us and for standing for us as women. Thank you so much for putting that picture outside there. Ukuthi divorce is not ihlazo. I 100% agree with you. Ukuthi divorce akusilona ihlazo, and I with no means of shaming anybody ohleli emshadweni or awubonayo ukuthi ufile, but I feel like ihlazo, it is for us to neglect ourselves at the cost of the other person.
Yeah.
And again, to share this scripture, as the Bible says we should love others as we love ourselves. And I think the ministry of self-love first, you can never love omunye umuntu without learning to love yourself. And
Yo, the mistake that a lot of us make is that we abandon ourselves so much, ne? We don't love ourselves so much that we love the other person, hoping that the void that we have of us needing self-love, that person will now come and fill that in. And that's not how it works.
Okay. Exactly.
You don't love somebody. Exactly. You don't neglect yourself and love somebody instead so much that you are hoping that the love which is missing on the inside of you, that person will come and fill it, because that's not going to happen.
Thank you. Thank you. That's so profound. Exactly.
You understand what I mean?
Exactly.
Hi, Mfaz. Please, so me and you, we need to talk.
Please.
Yo. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, woman. Thank you so much for sharing with us. Thank you so much for changing the lives. You just changed lives today. Okay. Your story you know what? You just changed lives today. Thank you so much for sharing.
All right, ngiyabonga kakhulu. I don't know how ngicela ungikhiphe, angazi ukuthi ngiphunywa ngilokho njani la i-connection, then I will attend. Okay.
All right. Yo guys, I have never have I ever in my entire life, hey, never have I ever Hypo, guys. Hi.
Hola, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Hey, long time, man.
There's an echo going on there. I don't know what's happening, my brother.
Hold on, let me reduce my sound.
Yeah.
Is it better now? Sorry, man, I was playing FIFA, but for some reason I bumped into your live. Yeah. So as I'm playing my game, I'm actually listening in. It's quite interesting, and the lady that just left now, she's very profound.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, I know. It's very, very profound. But I must say, though, just to add my 2 cents worth, I think, just to reiterate on what you were saying, that obviously I'm coming from a place of marriage, obviously, and as a gent, but I also believe that to some degree, people shouldn't feel compelled to stay in a marriage if it's not working out, especially from a spiritual perspective. And I also don't want to go in detail because some people believe, some people don't believe. But now for now personally, I've always said this, that I've always shared the experiences that I've seen my parents sort of grew me by. So for example, my parents been married for like 44, 45 years now. And with that being said, I've seen, the ups and downs of marriage. I've seen how, to some extent, even my mom at some point, I think there was a time in her life when she was like, you know what, I don't want to be in this marriage anymore. But because of, how my parents, they raised us in a sense that sometimes they do it for us, growing up, because, and I remember when I went to varsity at some point, it was like, a lot could have happened at the time, but because of they have kids, they don't want to sort of derail us, They want to do everything just to protect us, But I think in our generation is a bit different now, and also when I'm looking back and how things have turned out, I've always said sometimes people go into this whole marriage thing for wrong reasons, and most probably that's why sometimes we end up getting into a situation where look, divorce it's there, and divorce is like dating someone. At some point, you're bound to break up. The same way we have exes. The only difference is that when you're married, it's a commitment. So now it's like stuck in this marriage because of what other people want to say. You just got married 2 months ago. Why now? So for me, I always say, and I always push back to the gent being the men to say, we as men are the driving factors, whether in a marriage or in a relation. Because I feel that when I look at my parents' marriage, for example, to some degree, there was very, very differences in terms of how my dad and my mom were sort of engaging with each other. But I think my dad had to pull up his weight so that he can be able to sustain that relationship or that marriage, to say, So, if you speak of someone who's coming from a spiritual background, in the sense that there's God, there's Jesus, there's men of the church, and then there's you as a husband, you take lead. So even if in that marriage, when it comes to a point where you feel it's going astray or it's not working out, it's bound to be a man to some degree who has to take that sort of initiative to save it or to drive it. So I feel like if a man is not in it anymore, the marriage will die ultimately. I don't know, maybe that's my experiences. I don't know, because, I've always drawn this confidence from what I've seen and how my parents or how my father's always sort of protected himself in his marriage, and not just him, even my father's side of the family, his brothers, 80% of them have always believed in marriage. And I think maybe it's sort of, it's a ripple effect towards the younger generation that's coming after them. But nice to stand. And I'm hearing this lady speak, like how the man was doing 1, 2, and 3 externally outside the marriage. And hence I'm saying it's a thing we sort of have to take the initiative to sort of drive, whether it's a marriage or relationship. Yes, to some degree, the women have to come in to sort of support and whatever the case might be. But nice to stand, if things like, for example, and sorry to take long, in the 5, 6 years or in the years that I've been with my wife, they've never set us down to say, hey, Luna, no, we've never had that. Because I always felt that no matter whether Malume Wata or some priest from church, whoever talks about our problems or differences, it's ultimately between Nalilu to say, is this going to work out? Do we still want to be here? Na as the head of the family, is this what I feel? Because if again, what more an external factor coming in to say 1, 2, and 3? So for me, I still feel as a man, you have to take the initiative. It's up to us ultimately to sort of be the driving factor in this marriage. So if it doesn't work out with you as a guy, then most likely, like what the lady was saying, most likely, I don't know, I'll just see, a marriage becoming a turmoil, or whatever the word we want to use. But yeah, I think that's my two-cent words. And I just thought maybe I should share this coming from just a man's perspective, considering that, it was a two-way conversation between you as ladies.
Yeah. You know what, Babine, just to add on to what you were saying now, I feel like what we need to understand is that getting married for wrong reasons is not a one-way thing. It's not only applicable to one specific gender, because a lot of us, I'm always hammering and butchering the ladies to say ladies don't get married for the wrong reasons, right? It's not only ladies. I need it to be out there that it's not only ladies who get married for wrong reasons. Okay, even men can get married to wrong reasons, not because they have malicious intent, but simply because they were misinformed as well. Because when I as papi, you know that this woman is not your type. This woman is not somebody that you would want to spend the rest of your life with. But you are misinformed because you know that you saw it with your parents that your mom married your dad and kept your mom here, but your dad went on and lived his best life. And then you grow up thinking what a man does is marry a woman who's going to be a stable wife material, sit at home, and then you go on and you live your life. You are being misinformed, meaning that when I, as the guy, you are no longer taking that lead into the right direction. When are you coming in as somebody who says, okay, I married you so that you can be a wife, you have a ring, you are happy, so what do you want from me? Leave me alone. Then you go and you live your life. At the end of the day, when that train now is hitting the rocks or whatever, you now come and then you say, no man, this woman, whatever. Then we get to a point where we are where we are right now, where I'm speaking with this lady where she's seeing a man that when she got married, she was in a courtship. You understand what I mean? It doesn't get holier than this. A marriage doesn't get holier than this in terms of its basis, where everything is being done in the church. And then at the end of the day, you find out that, okay, when are you going to be sitting as a woman, you're thinking to yourself, okay, I got married for the wrong reasons. I was lonely. I didn't want to be lonely. I didn't want to be laughed at because nakele fetwa. I didn't want to be this person who's 35 years old and is not getting married. So I'm going to get married to this man because this man is the only one who's available and is proposing to me. Forgetting that Luana as a man, on the other hand, you can say, no, I want to get married because I want a wife that I'm going to go back home to, but I still want to live my life. I want to go groove and live this wife. Yes, she must be part of the furniture. It's a two-way thing.
Yeah. No, look, I agree. I agree, but 100% agree with you, right? And so I'm coming from a place of, and maybe I'm just different. I don't know. I still feel I'm old school in a way, right?
Yeah.
But here's what I've picked up, through my experiences and, through just my journey, society, especially in our black culture, has always projected this thing. Getting married is like the final.
Yeah.
It's the final
You think you have
destination.
arrived. You think you have
Yeah,
arrived. Yeah.
it's a thing to go to school, graduate, and then get married, have a family, and when you get married, you must have kids again. Like I've seen how I get pressure of having kids because I'm married now. It's like, yeah, dog, why don't you have a child now? So it's there's that social or the projections of society, how we still have to be to live our life, to say the least. It's like it's a final destination. Like, yeah, and to some degree, guys, there's a lot of pressure that comes from both ways, even from men, even from women. So, for example, rona re hotse re le banyane with that thing ya gore, like how out if if the girl's not even pretty, what happened because majita roads here, so there's a pressure, hey, get the hottest girl, and then you get the hottest girl, tomorrow you grow, you must marry the hottest girl. Do you understand? And so it's pressure all over. But I still stand by saying that, and remember, structurally and mentally, men and women are built differently. That's why, I remember growing up with my ex, there was that thing I couldn't date her at the time because my church they will say, like, what, you guys are young. How can you date someone when you don't have, if you're not financially stable? How are you gonna look at her? So all these things are sort of instilled within us. So the reason why I'm addressing this is in the sense that as a man, there's always that thing men in leadership, or men, you take the lead, because even biblically, the person who's actually leading us, if we speak of Jesus Christ himself, he's a gent, he's a man, right? So it comes with the thing a man must take the prerogative, they must take the initiative to drive the relationship, and I've always used, a practical example. Like if you are driving, perseverance, and your wife is in the left, because there can only be one driver. So I can be driving, you're sitting on the left, right? I have control of the vehicle. However, your inputs are still as relevant, and it's important, just as me driving the car. So, for example, baby, watch moto ere orange, or baby turn left, whatever. So technically, you can come across as a navigator, but ultimately there must be a person who's sort of taking the lead in terms of the relationship. Now, I've seen some of the comments here. Some ladies saying that, sure, my marriage is cold, my marriage is this, my marriage is that, and and it's painful that people go through these experiences, in their own spaces, and I always feel that you're right by saying that sometimes we get married for the sake of, it's a thing to do, You know, it's what society deems as acceptable. So, for example, I've seen how a man and a woman can meet today, and a woman knows subconsciously, okay, this guy is probably financially stable. He will probably take care of. Even got that Diaga propose because the woman doesn't want property. The woman doesn't want, women are generally subjective to us, so they want that security. They'll ultimately say yes because of they're saying yes not just to the fact that it's a union, but they're saying yes to the fact that I need security, I need provision, I need all the things that comes with the marriages. And the sad thing that we're living in this world is the society, the platforms, the social medias, the videos we post on TikTok, it's all about glam and glam and glam. So it sort of conditions our mind to think and perceive things in a certain way. And ultimately we assume and think, that's how marriage is supposed to be. But behind closed doors is totally the opposite, like literally. And for me, one of my guy friend, I was with him on Saturday. He was like, "Hey, dog, when you very close with your wife? You know what? I was very fortunate that I didn't just marry actually my wife. I married a friend because Lulu's like my friend. She's not. Our marriage is not based on husband and wife type of thing. You know that those people, like I still feel if I were to divorce her, if we were to ever, God forbid it happens, I would still be like, hey, let's hook up. You're my friend. Like our friendship. So that for me, that is key, and I think that's something that I was sort of coming with that sentiment.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay. No, I hear you, my brother. I hear you very well to say, or you need to, in as much as you're the driver, you can't, unless if everybody that you're driving has their eyes closed, of which we shouldn't be having our eyes closed if we are being driven. We should be having our eyes wide open because wow, that's what K53 says. If this you should be the driver as well, even when you're on the side. So yeah, thank you so much for your input. I really, really appreciate you being here. A gent for a change.
Yeah, not so good. But also, let me just say this, just in closing before I jump off, right? I saw this other comment. I don't know. The lady was saying something just about marriage relationships being toxic and so forth. I think the word toxic to me comes from the term red flags. A couple of things that we notice that we just ignore. Like the most smallest things, like thank you. Sometimes we take things for granted. Like for example, baby, here's coffee. Oh, okay, whatever. Like not to say whatever in a literal sense, but there isn't that feedback. Okay, thank you because of and all these small things, guys, are red flags that we don't really actually notice. And it's quite sad that some of the people, some of the relationships that I've seen that have didn't make it to a certain degree. Because for me, I believe whether you've been married for 50 years or 2 years or 2 months, and ultimately you divorce, it doesn't really constitute the number of years that you spend with the person. What's key is the fact that it didn't work out. Whether it's like 200 or 50 years, it just didn't work out. But also there's a flip side to it, to say nothing lasts forever. That's what I believe. Whether being it's the same as buying a vehicle. You buy a car which is brand new. Whether I service or we service, at some point that car's gonna get tired. It's gonna be look like it's gonna be like, hey, it's just the way it happens. As much as guys say visa, it's gonna get to a point where it's just gonna be. But now we said, like when I look at my ex, for example, I always say that there's never love lost in that relationship, if I can use that example. It was circumstantial. It was saying, what, perseverance, you and I don't see eye to eye anymore. You and I don't have the same vision anymore. You and I don't have, I don't know, our goals are not aligned.
And
So
it's okay.
and it's okay that we're not working out. It's just that our culture, and I know when every time I mention my ex, people jump, they get like, what? Why are you mentioning your ex? But sometimes it just needs an element of maturity to say, what, perseverance, you and I just not working out, and it's okay. We're better off apart. There's no love lost. It's a circumstantial decision based on where we're going, our alignment, and our future goals. They're not hadikopani. So I think it's only
and
best.
We didn't know better. When we thought we would do forever, we didn't know better, but now we do.
Yeah, so it's one of those things that it's just that, especially when I go back to Awad, as soon as you mention, I've seen it when in one of my lives, if I mention an ex, like, yeah, what? How can you mention ex? That's rude. Get no, guys, it's not really the thing. The thing is more of the relationship that you have with your partner, and that is key. And for me, it's more of, if we are not aligned, we're not aligned. Now I've done it before, in fact. I can wake up one day, or whichever day, whatever that happens, and say, perseverance, I'll just sit you down, let's talk. You and I are not seeing things the same way. I feel like we're different in terms of our goals and our visions. And remember, guys, love is subjective. So you can always love a person because they've always been part of you. But the genuine love in terms of affection, in terms of that sexual attribute or whatever you want to call it, it's no longer there. And sometimes that's why I've always had the fear of, I don't want to be in a relationship where, the love is not reciprocated. It would have always been nice if I know the perseverance and I, we love each other 10 out of 10, as opposed to I go 10, when I go 5. Yeah, I'm rather, but it's not like that. So, that for me,
And the
that's what.
thing is, we are so impatient, Papi. We are so impatient that when we don't get that 10 out of 10, we're like, okay, since I can't get what I want, let me just settle for this that is available now. And then we end up here. Yeah, khala manje.
I was about to say that again. We end up settling for what's there. And also, when I look at growing up, even people from church, sometimes that pressure that comes from society, because mama, we settled, bakwala distrata, batlha mahadi, wena ntse o eme, so that's the ish. And
How?
yeah. So all these things are coming to, they making you, they're putting you into a situation. Now you're compelled to make a decision abruptly, if it needs be, to say, listen, hey, things are happening, but ba move, but ba lobola, but ba ntsha mahadi. That's why recently when we saw those videos where when a guy proposes to a girl and the girl says no, it used to be a shock, because back in the days it was a no. And no girl will say no. Even if you don't know this guy, it will be like, okay,
Yeah.
yeah. But oh well, thanks, man. Take care, man.
Papi, thank you so much. I really appreciate you having an input. I really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Nangom.
How do I also go out here?
Don't worry. I will help you exit once I have. Yeah, let me help you out there. Yo, guys. You know what? We're gonna have to leave eventually because wow, we can't be here. It's not an all-night prayer, guys. Okay, it's losing in love. You guys came in late, all of you. Hi. Hello. Anybody there? Going once, going twice, gone. Okay, let's get somebody else. Do we have somebody here?
Hi, Sisunjan.
I almost cut you off there because I was not hearing anything. How are you doing, my love?
I'm doing great, and how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, I'm so glad I made it to your live today. Hey.
We thank God. We thank God.
Mina yazi phesi, I thank God for women like you who are so brave, especially coming from a background where you are born again.
Yay.
Coming from a background where you are born again, Mina, I was married for 18 years. It was my first boyfriend. Umuntu engina 16, ngikhule naye, nginabantwana naye. Things were happening. Yeah, understand ukuthi niyakhula, yena unale freedom yokuthi angajola as much as he wants. Wena stuck, uhleli uhlalele lobo buhlungu, sometimes uyasaba nalobo buhlungu ukubushare. Uhlele uyi-one because manje upreserva nale status sika Mr and Mrs zibanibani lapha enkonzweni.
Hallelujah. Le ring finger, hallelujah finger. Yeah, I understand.
Ile ring finger and ipholishwa uwe uyi-one. Lesi status sipholishwa uwe uyi-one, ubhuti yena u-free. Uwe kuphela okhalayo ekhaya, inyembezi zakho zaziwa uwe uyi-one.
Oh, Jehovah.
I remember ukuthi uma ngizothatha i-decision yokuthi I'm divorcing, I will Google ku-YouTube and Google ama-sermons about divorce because you are frustrated. You know ukuthi I'm not happy. I want to go out of this marriage, but now iBhayibheli lithi God hates divorce. And uyasaba even noku-approach abomama abaphambili enkonzweni ukuthi bazothini, bazongijaja. Yeah, understand. Now, to be quite honest, ngangena ngahlangabezana nama-sermons amaningi ayi-encourage where even some pastors abakuma-second marriages abashoyo ukuthi I remember one time I was listening to TD Jakes. TD Jakes said uNkulunkulu makathi I hate divorce ube explainer i-pain that the divorce brings. because
Yeah.
kuba buhlungu. And ama-sermons anjengalewo, ama-messages afana nalowo bewazongi-encourage. One day I managed to walk out of it and I was like, God, I'm so grateful. Even today is 4 years later, ngihlukane nomyeni wami 2018, is 4 years later. I am happy. I never knew I can live by myself. Hence, I'm saying ukuthi umuntu engithandana naye is the only man. I'm 45, but he's the only man that I've ever known in my life. Yeah, understand that. I even had fear ukuthi ngaphandle, how am I going to survive?
Yeah.
But I'm just grateful ukuthi one day I was brave enough ngakhona ukuphuma, and with a supportive family ebenginayo ngakhona ukuthi one day ngibe free. I still pray wena phela ukuthi uNkulunkulu asenze sibe brave enough ukuthi sibe nesibindi esifana nawe, so because I believe ukuthi there are so many women abadinga abantu abafana nawe, especially la ey'nkonzweni zethu zabazalwane, abakhona ukuthi babe brave enough ukuthi mfazi, but it's hard. Don't you think ukuthi it's time? Don't you think it's time ukuthi focus on yourself?
Yeah.
Because
I think the problem, name I shared with some pastor, prophetess Tuli, I think last 2-3 days ago, to say inkinga yethu ukuthi we want to win souls to Christ, ne? But see, we are deceiving people. Like we're not winning souls to Christ on a transparent basis. We are deceiving them. We are making them believe. Ngati siyama forex traders, you know, when we want to win souls to Christ. Ngati we are triple M when we want to win souls to Christ, because we want to sell them this thing which does not exist, and that is not right. Because you see what you are sharing with us right now, to say that you would think that when you are a child who grows up only one man, you know, you do your things by the book, this is the only man that you've known all your life, people think that automatically, this is the gospel that is being preached at the church on a daily basis. People think that automatically that means your marriage is over ngwele, you are on your first class ticket to heaven. And these are the things which are never spoken about in churches. Kids behind us are coming into this. Is the reason why I'm preaching the gospel that I'm preaching on a daily basis. It's not all that shines is gold. It's not everything which is roses, even when you are in Christ. Because if things were like that, people like you, my darling, you wouldn't be where you are right now. You understand? And this is what needs to be preached in the church as well, to say, let's be open and transparent and say, listen, even when you are in Christ, there's a possibility you're going to, because when you don't own the heart of the person you are married to, God owns the heart of that man. And you should be able to understand when you work on yourself and doing things right by the book for God, it's between you and God. Because now when you involve somebody else's child who has a heart of their own, and the Bible says, remember, almost is what you can divorce simply because of your hard heart. The hearts are getting harder and harder even now as we speak. And we're not with your soft heart, with your good intentions. We're not getting married as a virgin. You did your courtship things, everything by the book. You're getting married to somebody whose heart is hard.
And there's something that you mentioned.
When you get out of a marriage like that,
there's a point that you mentioned, makhona manje makhuluma a few minutes ago. You said spiritual life yakho before you get emshadweni was high up there. But that's one of the things ebezingibulala enhlizweni yami ukuthi I could see ukuthi mina I'm a very active person when mangisenkonzweni, but I could see ukuthi yazini I'm dying slowly. I am dying. I'm not growing spiritually, and which is the most important thing. I mean, we are spiritual beings. Your spiritual life comes before anything else.
Holy of the holies.
I mean, really, if you can realize ukuthi yazini spiritually I am dying, and you know exactly what is the cause. But uyembrace, uyafihla. Mina phela umshado wami ilo mshado wokuthi when people heard ukuthi uzibani nozibani are no longer together, abantu bebethwala izandla enhloko ukuthi how uzibani nozibani such a perfect couple, because ubawuhlela ubrasha kube kuwuwe owenza sure ukuthi integrity iphethwe uwe. The minute ngaba you know, even noma sengidivorcele kungithatha isikhathi ukuthi mangihlangana nomuntu engimaziyo makathi uphi uzibani bani, ngimtshela ukuthi hayi angisekho naye, bengiqale ngiphathwa amahloni. But after some, you know guys, you have no idea ukuthi lama platform anjengalawa phesi, honestly, to tell you the honest truth, ayasakha ayasakha. We come out of the shell. Sikwazi ukukhona manje kunalento enokutrend abantu bethi ladies are now dating themselves. Thina leyo mpilo siyiphile sisemshadweni.
You become a single parent. Single parent while you married. And at that time, you can't even go to the maintenance court because you're trying to protect this person that is making you suffer.
Yes, I'm saying this trend to tell ladies these days are dating themselves. Tina sis dated for years. Uze ubuhlungu, uze uphole, ujwayele nokuzihambela endaweni uyi-one. Yazi mina by the time I left my marriage, inhliziyo yami beseseyicrashekile ngaze ngaphola. Mina ngiphume emshadweni wami phesi ngipholile. Ngiphume emshadweni wami ngipholile that ngine-peace nanaye. Uma ungangibona ngihamba naye or sixoxa, bowungeke ubelieve ukuthi abantu baqeda ukuhlukana because ngiphole ngisesemshadweni. Ngithena sengiphuma bese sekuyisikhathi nje sokuthi ngiphume, but bese sengihilile. He still wants me back even today. But ngiyamtshela because the way kunokukhuluma naye ngakhona for sure unokuthola unokusensa ukuthi mhlasimbe kune vibe ngimuphi i-wrong vibe about ilokhuzana yami. Ngimtshela ukuthi no, angikho lapha, it's just that I don't have a reason to fight with you because ngaphola. And benginokumtshela naye ngithi just the way ngilimaze ngakhona ngize ngipholile, and the day ngiwuvala umnyango womshado wami angeke ngiphinde ngiwuvule. So I think we really owe it to. I have a friend mina ethembisa pheso washona eshonele emshadweni ehleli kwi-status esifana nalesi, and I used to tell her, you know what, you're gonna die because naye beka protector. Only few people knew what she was going through. And one day I just woke up and I got a call ukuthi uzibani has passed on esibhedlela.
And I guess who's going to comfort her husband at her funeral? The new woman who's gonna be who's gonna take over. I always preach this gospel to say, women, when you are holding on to a marriage which is painful for you, a marriage which is deadly for you, the person who's going to comfort your husband at your funeral is his new woman.
I don't know. There is a serious revolution that needs to happen emasontweni wethu abazalwane when it comes to this department of being transparent and kube open ukuthi guys, if things are not working, are just not working. Are just not working. And bakwenza ukuthi ungabi guilty conscious, ungabi ne-burden ukuthi we have done the biggest sin ever of walking away from your marriage. I mean, after walking away, obviously things were not easy. I went through a lot, but here I am. God has been good. I'm in a better position. He was not supporting me, but I was I was able to take care of my kids. I moved from Joburg. I'm in Cape Town. I'm living my life. You know, God is just faithful. Especially, as much as uzwakala stupid nyana mawuhleli in his presence, but when you talk to him, at the end of the day, he is a faithful father. He is a faithful God. He can hear your voice. And when he answers you, when I remember one time I was cleaning my room, I remember crying. You know, when you are crying tears of missing your husband, and you are keeping with him almost every day, but you feel good. I miss this man. I miss him.
There's a stranger here on my bed. You are sleeping with a stranger, Mus.
I miss him. I remember I was cleaning my room one day. Ngahlala phansi ngalahla umshanelo ngakhala ngathi uNkulunkulu wami, for how long am I gonna live this life? You know, I used to share with my kids when I look back, uba wenu bekanganasi isikhathi sami, because he was a businessman. Umuntu bekasebenza, bekavuka ekseni abuye ntambama, avuka ekseni abuye ntambama. I even negotiated for his Sunday ukuthi, can you just take a day off on Sunday? That was my life from January to December, in such a way that ngithona noma engasekho life yami, I didn't really miss him because I never lived my life with him. Yes, not it. And then one time mangabe sixoxa ngoba abantwana bekabapick up ababone, one time washo wathi yazi nami ngithena basengijeka honestly bengakuphi isikhathi sami, ngathi ngoba bekanokungibuza, don't you miss me? Ngithi I don't. I just realized ukuthi I've been living my life alone.
Nothing has changed now.
So to be quite honest, thank you so much. No, nothing has changed. Rather, I'm a better person. Thank you so much for the platform. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for sharing, my love. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming in. You know what? This is what we need. This right here. This is much needed. This is much needed. This is exactly what needs to be amplified. This is exactly what needs to be out there. Yo, guys, I feel so bad now, and I feel like I need to take one last person because we've been here. We've been here. I want to take one last person. One last one. Okay? One last person, please, guys. And then we'll wrap up and then save the rest for the next one. Hi. Hello. Going once, going twice, gone. Okay, let's take another one. Let's take another one. Another one. It's quite, excuse me, it's quite tricky, guys, because some of the people who are requesting look like kids, so I'm trying to avoid taking kids. I don't want TikTok blocking me here. Hi.
Hi, Percy.
How are you doing?
I am good, and how are you?
I'm great. You are the last person to be taken in for today so that we can wrap up and close. Share with us, my darling.
Yay! I'm so excited to be here. I've always
Yeah,
wanted
I'm
to
glad
go
you're here.
live, and I couldn't go through.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you're here. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a lot to say, simply because I've never been married before. But if there's one thing that I'm known for, I'm known for women empowerment and being a feminist.
Yeah.
And I'm being labeled all sorts of names
Mm-hmm.
because I stand for women, especially when you realize that men have always put themselves first. Men have always put their happiness first, irrespective of being married or not being married.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for us as women, the minute we try to advise each other, people tend to think we are better.
Yeah.
People tend to think we are jealous.
Yeah.
People tend to think we are hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, we are the ones that are left with the pains. We are the ones that are left with the antidepressants.
Yeah.
We are left with the ones that are supposed to look after the very same family that people expect us to protect.
Yeah.
I left somebody that loved, apparently, let me put it that way, because to people, he was an angel and he loved me. Because I'm loud, I'm assertive, I speak my mind. I looked like a very difficult woman to the society. And people would mention all sorts of things as if you are the cause of everything else. But when you look back and you realize, had I stayed in that environment, I wouldn't be where I am today. Had I stayed in that environment, I would have probably left in a coffin. And unfortunately, a woman in love or a woman who is brainwashed to think that she's loved can never be advised.
Yeah.
You can never win in trying to advise a woman who thinks she is in love, simply because society puts so much pressure on us to be family people, put so much pressure on us to protect our families.
We have so much to unlearn. There's so much of unlearning to do.
Like so much of unlearning to do. And I so wish that what you did in Pretoria can be done in almost every province, where we tackle a whole lot of this societal expectation and pressures
Bona,
put on
I'm coming.
women.
I'm coming for everything and everybody and everywhere and every place. I'm coming. Trust me.
Penetrate South Africa, do all these conferences. Let us speak. Let us be free to speak. Let us be open to speak, and let us remove this cloud of shame of coming out as women.
Yeah.
Let's remove this cloud of shame and help each other and hold each other's hand and reach out to each other. Whether you're in Durban, you're in Venda, you're in Cape Town, please continue with this type of women conferences or workshops, and let us build each other.
I'm coming. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you
my
so
love.
much, my love. And
Thank you
God
so
bless
much.
you.
I really appreciate you being here. I really appreciate the fact that I have all types of people here and we are all pouring into each other's cups, and it's not only just a specific type of people who are on this live. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much, my love.
Thank you, Malavi. Have a
You're
lovely
welcome.
night. Thank you so much.
Same to you, honey.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, guys, that wraps up our season 1, episode 6 of Losing in Love with Madam Speaker. It's been great. Unfortunately, for the rest of the people who are still requesting, we're gonna have to take it to the next Saturday. But also regarding the whole Saturday thing, I think we might have to change instead of us doing it on Saturday, because Saturday is not a good day. People are busy grooving and doing all the stuff that people do on Saturday nights. We're gonna pick a date. I don't know if maybe you guys can help me here. Instead of me having to do a video, can we now vote maybe for a date, a specific day and time where we can move this Losing in Love, because Saturday is not working for me. Usually my gigs on Saturdays, so Saturday late I usually do this thing in the car, and that is not convenient for me. So maybe we can pick a different date and time. Okay, somebody's saying Wednesday night, somebody's saying Friday night. I feel like Friday night is the same as Saturday night, because people are at the groove, people are traveling, people are doing all these things. Somebody's saying Sunday. Let's do Sunday. Somebody's saying Thursday. Somebody's saying Thursday. Okay, Thursday. I think Thursday is winning, guys. Thursday is winning. Okay, see Wednesday. Yo, guys, Friday. Okay. All right. Let's do Thursday. I think Thursday would win because we know that Friday we still have to go to work, meaning that we will be here on the live. And then when we say we're sticking to 2 hours, it will be 2 hours. It will be from 8 to 10 for real. And then should we decide after the 10 up that we want to now do it twice a week, meaning maybe it's Thursday and Sunday, then we can do that. So for now, let's do Thursday at 8, or rather let's do Thursday at 7, né? So that at least we have 8, 9. 9 we're done, we sleep, we're going to work on Friday. So we're gonna be moving our Losing in Love to Thursday at 7 every week, okay? Because I think it will be convenient for everybody, because yeah, I've been fighting to do this Losing in Love, and it's not all, people are always catching it late. And also another thing before I go,